In his first public appearance since leaving the White House, former President Barack Obama today spoke about what he calls the single most important thing he can do now that he's out of the White House. Let's go to CNN's Athena Jones. She's in Chicago for us. Athena, tell us more about what the former president had to say.
Hi, Wolf. Well, during his final weeks in office, we heard the president talk a lot about his post-presidency and what his plans were. He talked about the importance of bringing new voices into the political process. And today he said that developing the next generation of leaders would be the single most important thing he could do as a former president. He also said today that conversations like these with young people make him optimistic about the future. And he was clearly enjoying himself. President Obama, in his first public appearance since leaving office,
what's been going on while I've been gone?
Making the case for civic engagement during a forum at the University of Chicago, where he once taught.
The single most important thing I can do is to help in any way I can prepare the next generation of leadership to take up the baton.
The former president was joined on stage by young leaders for a wide-ranging discussion on breaking down barriers to civic participation and bridging divides between the political parties. The president bemoaning a political culture he says can no longer agree on basic facts.
That the internet in some ways has accelerated this sense of people having entirely separate conversations.
But he carefully avoided wading into the politics of the moment, never mentioning his successor by name, even as he discussed issues on which he disagrees with President Trump, like immigration.
It's not like everybody in Ellis Island had all their papers straight. The truth is the history of our immigration system has always been a little bit haphazard.
The event comes after the former first couple enjoyed an extended vacation in far-flung locales, including a nearly month-long sojourn to French Polynesia, where they reportedly hung out with Oprah Winfrey and Bruce Springsteen, and the president snapped photos of his wife on the deck of music and movie mogul David Geffen's yacht, scenes that went viral. Today, he had some advice for the young crowd about the perils of social media.
I mean, it is true that if you had pictures of everything I'd done when I was in high school, I probably wouldn't have been president of the United States. I would advise all of you to be a little more circumspect about your selfies.
And he encouraged them to think about what they want to do with their lives, not just what title they hope to one day achieve.
Worry less about what you want to be and worry more about what you want to do.
Now, today marks the first in a series of appearances slated for the former president. Next month in Boston, he'll receive the Centennial Profiles in Courage Award from the John F. Kennedy Library. And later in the month, he's set to travel to Berlin to appear with his good friend, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, at the Brandenburg Gate, where he famously spoke to some 200,000 people during his first run for the White House. Wolf?
Athena Jones in Chicago, thank you. Coming up, new details of President Trump's tax plan and the possible government shutdown looming.